Hello, Sydney, or whoever might be watching this.
Yes, that's right. I saw Scream 7, and this is your one and only warning, okay? If you want my spoiler free thoughts, check out my shorts section on YouTube. Watch the latest one there if you want to know my spoiler free general thoughts on it. Okay, so last warning 3, 2, 1. Okay, spoiler talk here. Let's talk about this movie. What do I think worked? Well, for one, I actually liked what they did with the character of Stumacher because I was apprehensive on bringing him back, and it's not that, like I said in my video where I talked about like I'm worried about Scream 7 or whatever that was called. I basically said that I have nothing against Matthew Lillard. I think he's a really underrated actor. He's really good. And I've always been a fan of the character of Stumacher. I thought he was really fun, and he's actually one of my favorite killers in the first movie. But the thing I like about Scream is that the killers are always a one and done thing. Of they're the killers, and then they die, and then we move on and we get new killers for the next movie. So I was really worried about the signs pointing to Stumacher is still alive, and for a while I actually thought that that was the route that they were going, where like he had the video calls like talking to Sydney and all of that, and you had like people looking at that and they're like, if this is AI, this is really good AI. And so I was like, is he actually still there? And then when they went to the psychiatric hospital and you had the nurse guy who was kind of playing along with that, I thought that that was really effective in making you question of is he actually alive or not. But then they ultimately said of no, he's dead. We just used really good AI, and so I was actually okay with that. That wasn't something I would have anticipated, but here we go. So I thought that worked. Other things that I thought were good. The action I thought was really good. Especially the kill like pretty early on of the girl McKenna Grace's character when she's like suspended and she's like going back and forth like this. I thought that that's definitely my favorite kill from that movie, and potentially my favorite kill in the series. I really liked how that was done, and it was really unique and creative and all of that. So yeah, there was that that I liked, and then other things that I liked about it. Well, let's see here. Let's go into some things that maybe I didn't like so much, and that the main thing was the mystery element. Of I was trying to figure out, who the killer was and all of that, and I read nothing. I read no articles, nothing talking about like cast interviews or anything like that. I wanted to go in the movie. I wanted to go into the movie completely blind, and I did. And what led to my conclusion was like when we were coming up to the third act, I was like, I don't know who it could be, and then they revealed of it's the neighbor, mom, and the nurse. And I thought that was kind of weird, especially because like when the nurse revealed himself, I was like, "Who are you again?" It was kind of a Roman Bridger type thing from Scream 3. It was like, "Who is that guy again?" But yeah, I thought that it was fine. It's just that the neighbor mom, like her monologue went on for really really long time. And I understand that, like that tends to be a thing with the Ghostface killers is that they think that they've won, and so they're like, oh, I've won, now I can talk about all this stuff. But I don't know, for me, it was a thing of, oh my goodness. I know that we're just giving Tatum time to, be un, untied from the chair and all of that, but like, come on, that monologue is just going on forever. I did like her kill though when Sydney and Tatum confront her in the garage and they just cover her with bullets. That was fun. I did like that. So yeah. In terms of other things that I noticed, I did like the involvement that Gail, Chad, and Mindy had. I was a little worried about them at first because I was like, how are you going to bring them back in and what are they going to do? I thought it was really clever how they did that. So I thought that that worked really well. And yeah, so I don't really know what I wanted to do with this. I just kind of wanted to share my thoughts, and like I said, this is a spoiler video. Okay, spoilers in the thumbnail and all of that. So I want to know what you thought. Like we can talk spoilers. You can say if I thought that this was really good, I didn't like this part. And yeah, I'm definitely open to the conversation because I thought the movie was really cool. It's not one of my favorites though. I will say that it's not one of my favorites. I'd say it's kind of like middle of the road for me. And you know what? That's totally fine because I like all of the Scream movies. And so this one being just, pretty good for a Scream movie, I think that that's good. And I am interested to see what happens with Scream 8 because the way that it ended, it kind of makes it seem like Tatum is going to be stepping into kind of the new Sydney role. And so I think that that could be really cool to see where that goes. And it sounds like that Scream 7 is already being a massive hit. Like this is the day when it's supposed to be like open everybody. I just got a chance to see it yesterday. But yeah, so it sounds like this weekend is going to be like really big for Scream 7. And yeah, so I heard that Scream 8 is already on the way, and before I was apprehensive of how are they going to do that already when when this one isn't even out yet. But after seeing Scream 7, I'm all right with it. I'm interested to see what happens now. They could still mess it up, or it could be like the best in the series. I really don't know, but yeah, I think it was really good. And like I said, I want to know what you thought. So, what do you think was good? What do you think was not so good? Like I said, I didn't really care for the mystery element because I was like, okay, is Stumacher actually dead, or is this, what's going on with that? And then, like I said, when the reveal happened, and I will say though, one thing I thought was really clever with the reveal was how you had one killer, and then he actually gets like killed off. Like they actually kill him off, and then they unmask him immediately, and it's like, who is this guy? And so you have kind of the mystery element of figuring that out of like, who is this Carl guy? And so I thought that that was actually really clever how they were able to subvert expectations, kind of like what they did at the beginning of Scream 6, where you get Samara Weaving's character killed off, and then the guy immediately unmasks himself, and you're like, wait, who's that? And then he gets killed off by the actual killer of that movie. So it was really fun. I think that they still got some things going with that. And so yeah, like I said, I am interested to know what you all think. So definitely let me know in the comments if you say I liked this or I didn't like this or whatever it might be. But at the very least, if you enjoyed this video of me rambling, you can definitely leave a like. I guess you can subscribe. Stay tuned for other stuff because I do plan to talk about movies some more. So yeah, but yeah, other than that, I do hope you enjoyed.
And I hope that I'll see you all later. Or else I'm coming for you. So stay tuned and watch some more scary movies.